So my name's Derek Robbins. I've been playing for over 40 years and a number of credits to my name, including being the first European in the Disc Golf Hall of Fame. For me it all started back in '73 when I was 12 years old on holiday, and I remember it was on Vancouver Island next to the Pacific. Steady breeze coming in, that's where I got the first official pro model Frisbee, and was just in awe of the way this thing would float in the wind and hover, and for whatever reason I was able to throw it pretty decently right from the start. So that's what got me into it, and then obviously went back home. I used to walk the dog a lot, so you'd go over the field and while the dog was running around I'd be there throwing my Frisbee, doing maximum time aloft, and I could just keep going for hours as a young teenager. That occupied me. But I didn't really go any further than that until '76, I think it was, when then that Frisbee broke. It might have been a tear or two, I don't know, but it broke and I got a new one. Then I found out there was actually a UK Frisbee Association. So I thought I've got to join this and find out about this sport, because I just love throwing Frisbees. So I did that. And at the time I noticed on the newsletter that the world record for distance throwing was 96 yards by Victor Malafronte at that time. And throwing in the field over the road while my dog was running around, with a tailwind, going downhill, I managed to throw, thanks Harvey, I managed to throw the disc around about that distance. So that really made me think, well, I've got to go and test myself out against the field here. So I didn't quite pluck up the courage in '76 to enter the Frisbee Championships, but '77 I'd practiced hard and I was ready to go. And I think I got a record in MTA for the UK, which was what seems a fairly uninspiring 8.2 seconds, but you have to remember this was really old plastic. We're throwing official pro models, maybe some 40 molds. And then the next year I practiced a lot. So '78, the UK Frisbee Championships, I won accuracy, I won maximum time aloft. I think I placed 5th or 6th in distance. I got the overall title for the UK. And the prize for that was a free trip to go to the States to play in the World Frisbee Championships in California. And you can imagine I was 17 at the time, and this was huge. You know, international travel was not as commonplace then as it is now. So, and that just going to that tournament, you know, blew my mind. There was just so much going on, incredible disc play, and yeah, I mean, I was never looking back after that. '79, I won the UK Championships again, got the same deal, trip to the States. '80 I went out again, and '81. And then I guess actually I should mention, not to blow my trumpet too much, but I think it was either '79, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's '79. I was not in the UK but the European champion, so there was a good standard of competition there, and I set a European record in MTA of 12.4 seconds. So yeah, my love of it was cemented there. After that, I went to Warwick University because it was the only place in the country that had a disc golf course at the time. So this is a sign that no, Frisbee is going to dominate my life from here on in. So the Ultimate kind of took over a little bit more after that. I carried on playing individuals, but the individual scene in the UK was fairly small. There were a few golf tournaments, maybe an annual overall tournament. So I played a lot of Ultimate, a fair bit of golf, and I guess the next thing that really took over was around about 1990. I decided I was going to really get into disc golf, and I went out to the World Championships in '91. Played pretty well there, went out again in '93, and so yeah, my involvement in golf was pretty strong from the early '90s. And also at that time, or actually a little bit before then, I think it was '86, I decided that one of my ambitions was to create a disc golf course, to buy a piece of land and set that up. And I didn't have any money at the time, so it wasn't going to happen anytime quickly after that. But I saved up, I changed jobs, started earning a little bit more money so I could save. And in 1994, I bought 15 acres of land. It was just pasture, only a couple of trees inside the boundaries, but my ambition was going to become true from that point. And I planted 1,400 trees, put fences up. In 95, the course was all in place. But obviously not particularly interesting because all the trees were like, 3 foot tall. So I let that mature for a while. And the next stage really for that was 2004, started applying for planning permission to build an access and a car park for the course. That all went in 2006, opened it up to the public. So now I'm playing a lot of disc golf all through this period. I picked up a number of titles in different countries on the European Tour. So I was Dutch Open champion, Swiss Open champion, won a tournament in Hungary, and obviously quite a few British tournaments too. And 2003 I was European champion in Masters division. But now my course Quarry Park was picking up, and opened it up to the public. The sport started growing there, and it was a good time of growth. I started up also the British Disc Golf Association in '96, and that really kind of galvanised things. There was always obviously a latent sort of demand for people to play golf, and I wasn't sure how many we'd get, but lots of people joined up. When I say lots, it's very small numbers by today's standards, but I was thinking, I can think of about 30 people who would join this association, and then we rapidly got at least twice that. So the sport started growing in the UK, more courses came along, and it's grown since then. And the latest thing that I've done is to actually give up my 3 days a week working in a regular job, and now I just work full-time on running Quarry Park disc golf course. It's my baby. It's doing really well, and the sport's going great in the UK. It's not a patch on the States or Finland, I have to admit that, but we're starting to get somewhere. And this week we're over at WIFDIF Worlds, and it's great to see that a British junior has won the golf event here. So that's really cool. It's looking like finally we've got some youngsters coming through, because for a long time I was UK number one, which was great for me. I was UK number one from 1990 right through to 2012. I won the tour every year, but I think for the sport to grow, it needs some young blood in there. So it's great that's coming through. So I think the future's great for disc golf, and it's great that we had an overall individuals here as well. So I hope a few more people are going to get into the other sports and really enjoy just throwing discs in whichever discipline they like, because it's a fantastic piece of sports equipment to play with.